Om Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha. Om Ganana Anta Ganapati Kumbhame Kavim Kavinam Pavashravastramam Jeshtarajam Brahmanan Brahmanaspata Anushrandhoti Visida Sadhanam. Om Mahaganadipataye Namaha. Om Keshwaya Namaha, Om Narayana Namaha, Om Madhvaya Namaha, Om Govindaya Namaha, Om Vishnuvaya Namaha, Matsudraya Namaha, Trivikramaya Namaha, Vamanaya Namaha, Sridharaya Namaha, Rishi Keshaya Namaha, Padmanabhaya Namaha, Damodaraya Namaha, Sankarshanaya Namaha, Vasudevaya Namaha, Pradyumnaya Namaha, Nishuddhaya Namaha, Purushottamaya Namaha, Dokshaya Namaha, Narasimhaya Namaha, Achyutaya Namaha, Janardhanaya Namaha, Upendraya Namaha, Hare Namaha, Sri Krishnaya Namaha, Sri Krishnaya Namaha. Om Haim Ring Klim Chamundaya Viche. Om Haim Ring Klim Chamundaya Viche. Om Haim Ring Klim Chamundaya Viche. Shambhave Namaha Vishveshwaraya Mahadevaya Triambakaya Tripurantakaya Trikagni Kalaya Kalagni Rudraya Neelakanthaya Mrityunjayaya Sarveshwaraya Sadashivaya Sriman Mahadevaya Namaha. Hari Om Hari Om. We are starting Devi Bhagavata Pravachana. I will try my best to explain the incidents in Devi Bhagavatham. Devi Bhagavatham, Mahabhagavatham, both are written by Veda Vyasa Maharishi. Among the Indian literature, Valmiki Ramayana, ಮಹಾಭಾರತ ಮತ್ತು ಪುರಾಣಗಳು ವೈಶಿಷ್ಟ್ಯ. ಇದು ಗೌರವಕ್ಕೆ ಪಾತ್ರವಾದ ಗ್ರಂಥಗಳು. That means very important literature in the history of India. These granthas or these Puranas came from Maharshis to Maharshi. So it came from the Maharshis, one Rishi telling the other Rishi like that. From initially it came from the Narada to Veda Vyasa and Veda Vyasa to other Rishis. That's how it came. Both are very important literature. Both Devi Bhagavata and the Vishnu Bhagavata, both are very, very important for all the devotees to read and understand. In both Bhagavatas, Devi Bhagavata also got 18,000 shlokas like Mahabhagavata, and also it has got same 12 books or 12 skandhas in both Devi Bhagavata and in Mahabhagavata. Both are written by Veda Vyasa Maharishi. That's very important. Veda Vyasa has given very big description of Devi Bhagavata. And this is one of the very important aspect. What actually happened, Mahabhagavata was told by Shuka to Parikshith Maharaja. And Shuka Maharishi is the son of Vyasa Maharishi. So Vyasa only told Bhagavata to Shuka Maharishi, and Shuka is explained the Bhagavata to complete Bhagavata in a Saptaha style, in a 7-day style to Parikshit Raja to attain moksha. At the end, Parikshit Maharaja had a fear of the death with the snake bite. That fear disturbed his concentration of the mind. So one of the guru is telling like this. So because of that, Parikshit Maharaja did not reach the heaven. Just a few length of short for heaven, he was in the middle before reaching the heaven. This was noticed by Brahma. So Brahma came to Veda Vyasa, requesting Veda Vyasa to explain the Devi Bhagavata to Parikshit Raja's son Janamejaya. And also, after listening to the Devi Bhagavata, Janamejaya also conducted Ambika yajna, Ambika yaga. This was a very big yaga. Um, a Janamejaya king in Hastinapura did with the help of Vyasa Maharishi. So here, this father of the Shuka is Vyasa Maharishi, and he is telling the Devi Bhagavata for Janamejaya, the son of Parikshith Maharaja. The idea is to make Parikshith Raja to reach moksha. That is the idea. So by conducting the Devi Bhagavata Pravachana to Veda Vyasa Maharishi, telling Janamejaya, Janamejaya is pleased. Janamejaya didn't know that his father is not reached moksha, and Brahma asked Veda Vyasa Maharishi to go to Hastinapura and give pravachana of Devi Bhagavata. So the importance of Devi Bhagavata, because of this, the connection between the other Bhagavata and Devi Bhagavata is Parikshit Raja as moksha attaining after listening to the Devi Bhagavata. Devi Bhagavata, ದೇವಿ ಭಾಗವತದಲ್ಲಿ ಹಲವಾರು ಕಥೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. There are so many incidents of so many things which is important in Devi Bhagavata. There are so many incidents coming. The Chavana Maharushi went on pilgrimage, and in Pushkara he was about to have a dip in the Pushkara lake, Pushkara Sarovara. At that time, the Taksha, this snake, also came there for yatra or something. So suddenly he became angry upon Chavana Rishi, and he tried to swallow Chavana Maharishi. And because of Chavana is a big disciple of Devi and as well as Narayana, he started chanting the Devi Sutta and also Narayana, Om Namo Narayana. Because of chanting Narayana mantra, his body started getting heat energy to the snake. The snake cannot tolerate it in the end. Taksha, he couldn't tolerate. So he realized this man is a very great person and I cannot eat him. So he went in a rush back to Patala and dropped Chavana Maharishi in the Patala Loka. That's where Taksha belongs to. Because Taksha got hurt because of this Narayana mantra and Devi mantra, what he was chanting, made the snake to realize that he cannot eat Chavana Maharishi. The Chavana Maharishi didn't know what he is doing. He was thrown in the Patala and went away. The snake went away. And Chavana got up and found out he is in some different location. He never been there before. So he was inquiring, being to know that he was in a Patala Loka. And Patala Loka was governed by Prahalada Maharaja at that time. So he decided to go and see Prahalada. These are the stories coming there. And Prahalada, guided by Chavana Maharishi, he also went on yatra. Starting from Naimisharanya, Badrikashrama, Pushkara, all those places he went. And he had a challenging fight with Naranarayana in the Saraswati river bank of the Saraswati, where Naranarayana was conducting a japa and tapas. And Prahalada became angry upon these tapasvis because they have got a arrow and bows. And if they are tapasvi, why they are carrying arrow and bows? And then was an argument started between them, and in the end Narayana showed his Chaturabhuja avatara, and Prahalada became sorry, and he never realized that he is a God himself is coming and doing in tapas here. So these are the incidents coming in the Devi Bhagavata. There are so many things for us. See, Mahalakshmi, Mahasaraswati, Mahakali, ಈ ಮೂರು ದೇವಿಯ ಗುಣತ್ರಯದ ಮೂರು ಶಕ್ತಿ ರೂಪಗಳು. That means they are representing the Shakti Rupa of Devi Bhagavati. Brahma, Vishnu, Rudra, Trimurtis also came from the Devi Prakriti Devi. So there was one shloka in Sringeri, Shankaracharya chanting the Shivaha Shaktyo Yukto Yadi Bhavati Shaktaha Prabhavitham Nachedevam Devona Kalu Kushara Skanditam Api. This is the Shankaracharya has written Devi Stotra. Shuka Janaka. In this Devi Bhagavata, Vyasa Maharishi asked the Shuka to get married, son. And Grihastha Ashrama is important, you have to get married. The Shuka is telling, no, I don't want to do, I will go to forest and do tapas. And then the argument between Vyasa Maharishi and Shuka went on, and in the end, Vyasa Maharishi explained the whole Bhagavata for the son Shuka. And also he advised Janaka Maharaja in the Mithila Nagara is a very clever king, and he is also ascetic and a king also. So you please go and see him and get advice about getting married. And so he convinced his son to go and discuss with Janaka Maharaja. These are the incidents coming in the Devi Bhagavata. And then Janaka kept the guest Shuka in his palace for few weeks and few months, and then he convinced them that Grihastha Ashrama is best, and also he can be ascetic also. So this sort of conclusion he came. According to Veda only, all Dharma Shastra has been conducted according to Vedas only. So adike there is another shloka Shankaracharya has written some years ago. Mana eva manushyanam karanam bandha mokshayo. Ho. Bandha mokshaಗಳಿಗೆ ಕಾರಣವಾದದ್ದು ಮನಸ್ಸು. That means ಬಂಧ ಮೋಕ್ಷಗಳು ಬರುವುದೇ unless mind is concentrated and trying to achieve moksha, and manasu, the mind has to be in a peaceful manner. Anyatha dharmanasham syat saugataname anaga. See, without Vedada adhara, dharma cannot be decided without the support of Veda. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಮೂರನೇ ಸ್ಕಂದದಲ್ಲೇ in the third skanda, Srirama is conducting Devi Puja, and after conducting Devi Puja with the blessings of Devi, he becomes stronger to kill Ravana. And in the fourth skanda, Vishnuvina Nana, the avataraಗಳು, incarnation of Vishnu is explained in the fourth skanda. In fifth skanda, Krishna, the avatar of Krishna is also explained. So in the sixth skanda, Indra is trying to kill Vratasura. That Vratasura vade alla barutte. In seventh skanda, the dynasty of Surya dynasty, Chandravamsha, Suryavamsha, lunar dynasty, and Chandravamsha and Suryavamsha, king, and their all the kings' stories are coming in the seventh skanda. In 10th skanda, all the description of Bhumandala, Manu Sankshipta Kate, ella barutte. That's all coming. And the 11th skanda, Bhasma Rudrakshiಗಳ ಮಹಿಮೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಆಮೇಲೆ 12th skanda in Devi Purana, Devi Bhagavata, in the 12th skanda, Gayatri Swarupa, Gayatri Mahime, and ಕೇನೋಪನಿಷತ್ತಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುವ ದೇವಿಯ ಕಥೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ದೇವಿಯ ಸ್ಟೋರಿಗಳು, ಗೌತಮನಿಗೆ ಶಾಪ ಆಗೋದು, ಚಿಂತಾಮಣಿ ಗ್ರಹ, all these description is coming on the 12th skanda. ದೇವಿ ಭಾಗವತದಲ್ಲಿ ಮನನೀಯವಾದ ಕೆಲವು ಶ್ಲೋಕಗಳನ್ನು ತಾತ್ಪರ್ಯದಿಂದ ಉದಾಹರಿಸಬಹುದು. ಸಾತ್ವಿಕಂ ವೇದಶಾಸ್ತ್ರಾದಿ ಸಾಹಿತ್ಯಂ ಚೈವ ರಾಜಸಂ ತಾಮಸಂ ಯುದ್ಧವಾರ್ತಾ ಚ ಪರದೋಷ ಪ್ರಕಾಶನಂ. See, Veda and Shastra are all Satvika. Kavya Sahitya is Rajasika. Yuddha, Vadadata, and the war and fighting with all these information are considered as tamasa. That's according to these are the incidents are coming in the Devi Bhagavata. It is very important that people has to read the Devi Bhagavata or listen to Devi Bhagavata with shraddha and bhakti. Devi will be pleased if you listen this Devi Bhagavata. Our Devi is very pleased, and Devi stories of Madhukaita Vada is also coming, and the Mahishasura Vada is also coming, and Nishumbha Shumbha Vada is also coming. They're all coming in the Devi Bhagavata also, and you can read them in the Saptashruti, Durga Saptashruti also. You can read that. So the first book in the Devi Bhagavata starts with Shaunaka and other rishis are going to ask um, Suta Maharshi to tell the Bhagavata, Devi Bhagavata. So they are asking like this: O highly fortunate Suta Maharshi, O noble Suta, you are the best of persons. You are blessed in as much as you have thoroughly studied all the auspicious of Puranas. So they said, you are a sinless one. O sinless one, you have gone through all the 18 Puranas composed by Krishna Dvaipayana or Veda Vyasa Maharishi. These are endowed with 5 excellent characters and full of esoteric meanings. The Purana, when some kavya or literature is considered as Purana, it has to have 5 characteristics. The characteristics are to make the matters reveal to one's own self, to realize, to transfer to others the Shakti, force thereof, to prove the various manifestations of several effects thereon. O sinless one, it is not that you have read them like a parrot, but you have thoroughly grasped the meaning of them all as you have learnt them from Vyasa Maharshi himself, the son of Satyavati and Parashara. Now it is our good merits that you have come at this divine, holy, excellent Vivasvara Kshetra, Vivasvan Kshetra, that is Naimisharanya, free from any defects of the Kali Yuga. This Naimisharanya is a place where the effect of Kali age is not going to touch. What actually happened in some years ago, some time, ancient time, all the rishis and all the Brahmins went and requested Brahma to create a place where in which all the Munis and Brahmanas sit together and listen to the Puranas and Bhagavatas and without the disturbance of the Kali Prabhava in that place. So Brahma created Manomaya Chakra. It is called Manomaya Chakra. That means he made his own chakra in the mind and then it came in his hand. It's a wheel, like a wheel cart of a wheel, just like a big wheel. And the rim of the wheel, outside rim, is called Nemi. What Brahma is telling the Munis, we are going to leave this chakra and wherever it is going to land in the earth, and that's the place supposed to be free from Kali. So he threw that wheel, and that wheel came and landed in a small place in a forest. So this Nimi fell on the forest. So Naimisha Aranya, they worded the name like that. The Naimisha Aranya is a place something about 5-6 kilometers from the Lucknow on the way to Ayodhya. This is a very holy place, and where the Manomaya Chakra of Brahma fell down, and that area became a big lake. That lake is also circle, like a Manomaya Chakra. So that place pond is called Chakra Tirtha. That Chakra Tirtha is a holy place. People all go to the Naimisharanya and take a dip in the Chakra Tirtha, and they feel that they are blessed by the gods. So that sort of place, Naimisharanya, that's where all the Brahmins and all the Rishis and Munis assembled. And they're all trying to listen to the story of so many Puranas there. 18 Puranas, one after the other. Puranas, he is going to tell Sonika. All the Munis and Sonika are getting the Puranas from Sutta Maharshi. O sinless one, they are asking, O Sutta Maharshi, these Munis assembled here are desirous to hear the holy Purana, Samhita, that yields religious merits under Punya Kampadane. So describe this to all Munis who are assembled in Naimisharanya. O all-knowing Sutta, live long and be free from the threefold sorrows of existence. O highly fortunate one, narrate us the Purana equivalent to the Vedas. O Sutta Maharishi, these persons that do not hear the Puranas are certainly deprived by the Creator, though they have apparently the organ of hearing, of the power of tasting the sweet essence of words, because the organ of hearing is gratified then and then only when it hears the words of the wise man, just as the organ of taste is satisfied then and then only when it tastes the 6 kinds of rasas. So 6 kinds of rasa, ಷಡ್ರಸ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಷಡ್ರಸ ಅಂತ ಸಂಸ್ಕೃತ. One is a flavor of taste, sweet. One is a sweet, sour, pungent, bitter, salty, and astringent. These are the 6 rasa. This is known, everybody knows this mostly. The serpents that are void of the organ of hearing are enchanted by sweet music. Then why should not these persons that have the organs of hearing and are ours to hear the Puranas be thrown under the category of the deaf? So all the Munis and Brahmins are eager to listen to the Puranas by Sutta Maharshi in Naimisharanya. So he is telling again, O Saumya. Saumya means peaceful man. Hence all these Brahmins, being distressed with the fear of this Kali Yuga, have come here to this Naimisharanya place, eager to hear attentively the Puranas, and are staying here with this only one object. Time must be spent away anyhow or other. Those that are fools while away their times in sports and other evil practices, and those that are learned pass away their times in meditating on the Shastras. But these Shastras are too vast and very varied. Very big, voluminous granthas are there. These literature are so voluminous, and the whole lifespan of a person is not enough to read all the literature. That's why they are eager to listen to Sutta Maharshi. Vedas are sound doctrines to arrive as just conclusions, and various atharvodas, explanations and assertions recommending vidhis or percepts by stating good arising from its proper observance and evils arising from its omission, and also by adducting historical instances for its support, praises and illusions, and filled with many arguments. And amongst these Shastras, again, the Vedantas is the Sattvika. Among the Shastras, Vedanta is a Sattvika, Mimamsa is the Rajasika, and Nyaya Shastra is a with Hetu Vadas are the Tamasika. So the Shastras are also varied, Rajasika, Tamasika, and Rajasika. Similarly, the Puranas of 3 kinds. Purana also divided in the Sattvika, Rajasika, and Tamasika style. O Saumya, one of the gentle appearance, you have recited those Puranas endowed with the 5 characteristics and full of many narratives. Of these, the 5th Purana, equivalent to the Vedas and with all the good qualities, the Bhagavata yields dharma and kama, religion and desires, gives liberation to those who desire for emancipation, and is very wonderful. You mentioned this before, but ordinarily you did not dwell on this specifically. Now these Brahmins are eager to hear gladly this divine auspicious of Bhagavata, the best of the Puranas. So kindly describe this in detail. So now, O knower of Dharma, by your faith and devotion to your Guru, you have become a Sattvika Purusha. So what Rishis are telling, the, the, the Sutta Maharshi, O knower of Dharma, O Sutta, you are the knower of Dharma. By your faith and devotion to your Guru, that is Vyasa Maharshi, you have become Sattvika and thus have thoroughly known the Purana Samhitas spoken by Veda Vyasa. O omniscient one, therefore it is that we have heard many Puranas from your mouth. But we are not satisfied, as the Devas are not satisfied with nectar. O Sutta Maharshi, to attain mukti, but hearing Bhagavata gives instantaneous mukti, have we heard, from this samsara, a round of birth and death. So, cycle of birth and death will be broken and we will attain moksha. O Sutta Maharshi, we perform thousands and thousands of yajnas for drinking the nectar, but 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 never we got the full peace. The reason being that yajnas lead to heaven only. On the expiry of the period of punya, from the heaven also, we will be pushed down to the earth again. Expiry of the good merits, the heavenly life ceases and one is expelled, as it were, from the heavens. Thus, in incessant sojourns on this wheel of samsara, the constant rounds of births and deaths never end. O knower of everything, thus without jnana, knowledge, wisdom, mukti never comes to the man. Without jnana, without knowledge, and without wisdom, mukti never comes to the man. Wandering in this wheel of time, kala chakra, that is birth and death, composed of three gunas. One is rajasika, one is sattvika, one is tamasika. These three gunas. The gunas. So describe this holy Bhagavata, always beloved of the mumukshus. Mumukshus means we are the devotees, mumukshus. The desire, people who devotees who desire to achieve mukti, achieve moksha in this life itself. This secret work yielding liberation, holy and full of all sentiments. Please explain. Thus ends in the whole first chapter, all the request of Rishis only submitted to Sutta Maharshi. Now Sutta Maharshi is talking, that becomes a chapter 2. Sri Sutta said, I am highly fortunate. I consider myself blessed and I am purified by the Mahatmas, high-souled persons. Among all the Rishis who are assembled there, they are all high-souled persons, in as much as I am questioned by them about the highly meritorious Purana, famous in the Vedas. I will now speak in detail about this Purana, the best of the Agamas, approved by all the Vedas and the secret of all the Shastras. O Brahmins, bow down to the gentle lotus feet, known in the three lokas, of Devi Bhagavati, pronounced by Brahma and the other Devas, Vishnu and Maheshwara and others, meditated upon always by the Munindras, and which the yogis contemplate as their source of liberation. Today I will devotedly describe in detail and in plain language that Purana, which is the best of all the Puranas, which gives prosperity and contains all the sentiments, rasas, that a human being can conceive, the Sri Mad Devi Bhagavatham. May that highest primordial Shakti, who is known as Vidya, in the Vedas, who is omniscient, who controls the innermost of all the beings, and who is skilled in cutting off the knot of the world, who cannot be realized by the wicked and the vicious, but who is visible to the Munis in their meditation. May that Bhagavati Devi give me always the buddhi to fit to describe the Puranas. So he is praying Bhagavati to give him buddhi and give him knowledge to describe the Bhagavata, Devi Bhagavata. I call to my mind the mother of all the worlds who creates this universe. The mother of all the world is Sri Bhagavati, and who creates this universe, whose nature is both real, taking gross practical point of view and, and unreal, taking a real point of view, preserves and destroys by her Rajasika, Sattvika, and Tamasika qualities, and in the end resolves all these into herself and plays alone in the period of dissolution. At this time, I remember that mother of all the worlds. So Suta Maharshi started telling, it is commonly known that Brahma is the creator of the universe, and he knowers of the Vedas and Puranas say so. But they also say that Brahma is born of the navel of lotus of Vishnu. Thus it appears that Brahma cannot create independently. Again, Vishnu, from whose navel lotus Brahma is born, lies in the yoga sleep, yoga nidra, on the bed of Ananta, the thousand-headed serpent, in the time of Pralaya. So how we can we call Bhagavan Vishnu, who rests on the thousand-headed serpent Ananta, as the creator of the universe? Again, the refuge of Ananta is in the water of ocean of Ekarnava. A liquid cannot rest without a vessel. So I take refuge of Mother of all beings, who resides as the Shakti of all of us, and thus is the supporter of all. I fly and for refuge into the Devi Bhagavati, who was prized by Brahma while resting on the navel lotus of Vishnu, who was lying fast asleep in Yoganidra. O Munis, meditating on the Maya Devi, that is the Bhagavati Devi, who creates, preserves, and destroys the universe, who is known as composed of the three gunas, and who grants mukti. I now describe the whole of the Devi Bhagavata Purana. Now you all better hear. The Purana, Sri Mad Purana, Devi Bhagavata, is excellent and holy. 18,000 pure shlokas are contained in it. So similar Bhagavata, Mahabhagavata also contains 18,000 shlokas. And they also, both Bhagavatas, Devi Bhagavata and other Bhagavata, both containing 12 skandhas in each book, in each Bhagavata, and 318 chapters. 20 chapters compose the first skandha, 12 chapters in the second skandha, 30 chapters in the third skandha, 25 chapters in the fourth skandha, 35 chapters in the fifth skandha, 31 in the sixth skandha, 40 in the seventh skandha, 24 in the eighth skandha, 50 chapters in the ninth skandha, 13 in the tenth skandha, 24 in the 11th skandha, 14 chapters are contained in the 12th skandha of Devi Bhagavata. O Munis, thus Dvaipana Muni, that is Veda Vyasa Maharishi, has arranged his chapters in each skandha. Thus the Mahatma Veda Vyasa has divided this Bhagavata Purana, Devi Bhagavata Purana, into so many skandhas and into so many chapters, and that the number of verses is 18,000 is already mentioned. That is denominated as Purana, which contains the following 5 characters. So Suta Maharshi is telling what are the 5 characters to be called as Mahapurana. So number 1 factor is creation of the universe, secondary creation, dynasties, manvantaras, the description of Manus and other kings are all 5 characters. Let me repeat. 5 characters: creation of the universe, number 1; secondary creation, number 2; dynasties, number 3; manvantaras is the fourth one; and the description of the Manu and other kings are the fifth character. Shiva is beyond Prakritic attributes, eternal and ever omnipresent. She is without any change, immutable, unattainable by yoga. She is the refuge of the universe, and her nature is Turiya Chaitanya. Turiya Chaitanya. Mahalakshmi is her Sattvika Shakti, Saraswati is her Rajasika Shakti, and Mahakali is her Tamasika Shakti. These are all feminine forms. The assuming bodies by these 3 Shaktis for the creation of this universe is denominated as Sarga. That is, the first character is Sarga, that is creation. By the high-souled personal Mahapurushas skilled in Shastras, and further resolution of these 3 Shaktis into Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesha for the creation, preservation, and destruction of this universe. So Devi Bhagavati nominates Brahma for creation, Vishnu for preservation, and Maheshwara, that is Shiva, for job of destruction of this universe, is denominated in this Purana as Pratisarga. So this is called Sarga and Pratisarga, that is secondary creation. The description of the kings of the solar dynasty and lunar dynasty and the families of Hiranyakashipu and others, known as the description of the lineages of kings and their in dynasties, Ikshvaku Vamsha, Surya Vamsha, Chandra Vamsha, like that. The description of Swayambhu Manu and other Manus and their ruling periods is known as Manvantara. We are in the Vaivasvata Manvantara, ನಾವು ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ ಸಂಕಲ್ಪ ಹೇಳೋತ್ತಿಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಲ್ಲ ವೈವಸ್ವ ಮಂತರೆ ಕಲಿಗೆ ಪ್ರಥಮ ಪಾದೆ ಜಂಬೂದ್ವೀಪೆ ಭರತಖಂಡೆ. This is the part of the sankalpa in any pujas. Swayambhu Manu. So the ruling period of each Manu is called Manvantara, and the description of their descendants is known as the description of their families. Thus, these are the 5 characters in the Puranas. O best Munis, all the Puranas are endowed with these 5 characters. So is Mahabharata, written by Veda Vyasa, also characterized by these five things. This is known as 5th Veda, and Itihasa history accepts Mahabharata as a 5th Veda. In this are something more than 1 lakh shloka. Mahabharatadalli, in the Mahabharata, there will be 1 lakh shlokas. Shaunaka said, O Suta Maharishi, what are those Puranas and how many verses are contained in each? So the Rishis are asking Suta Maharishi, speak all those in detail in this holy kshetra of Naimisharanya. We, the residents of Naimisharanya, are all very eager to hear these details. Why we call ourselves as the residents of Naimisharanya here, you will realize that no other place exists in the earth in this Kali Yuga for hearing the holy discourses on religion apart from Naimisharanya. When we are afraid of the Kali Yuga, Brahma gave us Manomaya Chakra, wheel, and I said to all of us, follow this wheel, go after it, and the spot where the wheel fall will become thin so as to break and will not roll further. That country or that place is the holy place. Kali will never be able to enter there. You all better remain there until the Satya Yuga comes back. Thus, according to the saying of Brahma, we have got orders to stay here. On the hearing the words of Brahma, we went out quickly, keeping the wheel go on, our object being to determine which place is the best and holiest. To listen to Purana. When we came here, the wheel fell, become thin and shorn before our eyes. Hence, this kshetra is called Nemis. Because it's a forest, Naimisharanya, the most sanctifying place. Kali cannot enter in this place of Naimisharanya. Hence, the Mahatmas, Munis, and Siddhas, terrified by the Kali Yuga, have followed me and resorted to this place. We have performed yajnas with oblations where no animals are sacrificed. Now we have no other important work to do except to pass our time here until the arrival of Satyuga. O Sut Maharshi, we are extremely fortunate in all respects that you have come here. Purify us today by narrating to us the names of all the Puranas equivalent to Vedas. O Sut Maharshi, you are also a learned orator. We too are ardent listeners with no other works to bother our heads. Narrate to us today the auspicious holy Bhagavata Purana. O Suta, long live you, and no ailings, internal, external, or from the Devas, torment you. This is our blessing to you. We have heard that in the most sanctifying Purana, narrated by Maharshi Vedvipayana, all about dharma, religion, artha, wealth, kama, desires are duly described, as well the acquiring of tattva jnana and liberation are also spoken of. O Suta Maharshi, our desires are not satisfied one day more we hear of those beautiful holy words now described to us, the highly pure Sri Mad Devi Bhagavatham, where all the leelas, the dramatic acts of the Sri Devi Bhagavati of the three worlds, purifying the sins, adorned with all the qualifications, are described as yielding all the desires like the Kalpavraksha, the celestial tree yielding all desires. Thus ends the second chapter of the first skandha on the description of Purana. The text in Mahapurana, Sri Mad Devi Bhagavatham, 18,000 verses by Maharishi Veda Vyasa. So I will start. The next session, we will go to the chapter 3. Om Namostu Anantaya Sahasramurtaye Sahasrapadakshara Purushashute Sahasrakoti Yugadarane Namaha Sahasrakoti Yugadarane Namaha Akashat Paritam Metagat Sagaram Sarvadeva Namaskaraha Sri Kesham Parigatyo Namaha Sarva Vedeshat Pandam Sarva Tirteshu Atpalam Tatpalam Purmapti Vasana Dvasudevasya Vashtante Jagatrayam Sarva Bhuta Nivaso Se Vasudevnute Kayena Vacha Manasendriyarva Buddhatmanama Bhagavate Svava करोमि यद्यत् सकलं परस्मै नारायणायेति समर्पयामि नारायणायेति समर्पयामि नारायणायेति समर्पयामि ॐ ह्रीं ह्रीं क्लीं चामुण्डाय विच्चे 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 हरि ओम तत्सत्